Now I will do this for this entire armature. Well, I will actually build over the top of it with a layer of roughed out Sculpey that has no detail in it whatsoever. It's the best way to go about working on a figure of this mass, because you're going to want to bake it in stages where if you all of a sudden just go at it with the detail layer, not only do you sometimes end up when you're carving or sculpting, you're starting to push clay around because it's all just solid, soft clay. That becomes a problem. But also sometimes you do not bake all the way down to that bottom layer. So it's best to build up a layer, bake it, build up another layer, bake it in increments. Okay. We're doing on mass. You can see I'm not quite, but you're getting a little bit of that character of those hanging man-thing tentacles. Just finished that Cthulhu sculpt. I don't know if everybody saw that online, but it's kind of funny how Cthulhu kind of, or Man-Thing kind of has a bit of a Cthulhu feel to him because of the tentacles on the face. I don't know how much I'm going to do on this because it comes a little bit redundant to you guys as you're watching me. So I'm just going to give you the basic idea. You know, just slowly building it up. I always talk about how a lot of times when I'm doing a sculpture, I get to this stage and I will sculpt the head completely and to finish, just because I can't wait to do it. Most of the time, that's the most interesting part of a character. So, you know, I'll probably do that just as a demo for you guys in a future video once this part of it is baked. See, I just probably want a little bit more curve to that tentacle, which I can do at this stage. A little bit more. These things that hang off the face, artists have treated them differently over the years in various ways. And my favorite artist that used to handle the comic series was Mike Plug, and he worked on Werewolf by Night and Monster of Frankenstein and Ghost Rider, and he's really amazing. His artwork can be seen at the beginning of the movie Wizards. He did character design and stuff for the Lord of the Rings that Ralph Bakshi's animation studio did as well. And he's just really great. Kind of has almost like a Bernie Wrightson style design aesthetic for his characters and stuff, kind of over-exaggerated anatomy and stuff. But he used to, when he drew the tentacles, they always had so much character. They didn't hang straight down like other artists had done. Val Merrick was another artist that worked on the series for a long time. He had, like I said, he had a lot of like kind of curves and bulges and stuff to the tentacles. He even had these kind of hang back farther back on the head, which I kind of brought a little bit of that in. You can see on the sketch here. But you can see a little bit of what I'm starting to do here. I might even start seeing what this looks like when on the body. Oop. Yeah, see, even adjusting how they hang. Because they're, of course, going to be, they seem like they'll have a life of their own, but they'll also need to look like they're being affected by gravity, hanging straight down from the head. But I'm going to bake this at this point. Kind of show you what I do. I will bake arms, I will bake legs, I will bake things on a separate, in a little small oven that I have here in the studio. I'm in the process of getting a larger oven from a friend of mine, a large confectionery oven that I'll be baking these in. But so far I've just had to build, bake separate parts of most of my sculptures at separate times. So I will bake the torso separately from the arms and everything. So I fit them into a smaller oven. But you can see how I use this wire, epoxy, wood, kind of a multimedia armature. And I have this guy where I've actually mounted him on a little board. So he gets baked nice and cleanly all the way around, bottom, top, everything. But that'll give me a little bit of a really nice base to start doing my detail layer in. Might have to sand these down, like I said. But yeah, I'm gonna take these over the oven. You can see this studio is just a horror show right now. So take the tray out because this thing rides a little bit higher in my oven. Just a little toaster oven that 200 degrees, 20 minutes. And that's probably way more time than it actually needs. And we're gonna bake it. So yeah, I think that's about all I'm going to do today as far as process. You can see this is like a major bit of information on how I start my sculptures. I'll use these from time to time, calipers. Of course, they're really great to make sure that as I go from side to side that my joints are at the size they need to be, and that especially this guy's a little bit more asymmetrical than a lot of characters that I do. In fact, I actually love making characters that are asymmetrical. Like if you think of those Batman figures I did for DC recently, this guy's got one arm that is slightly larger. I mean, he's a tree. He's basically like a plant. So I kind of pictured him his body growing out, and one arm maybe growing faster or longer than the other one. One leg has become a complete tree trunk. I figure this might have been, I think it's Ted Sallis is the human who actually is changed into Man-Thing, and I believe it's the same super serum that, or part of the super serum that ended up making Captain America is what causes him to become the Man-Thing. But as he's growing, his skull might have even been like pulled right out of his head and has become part of his overall anatomy. Growing into the roots of this tree that's growing up out of his back. But yeah, that's kind of a bit of my process. I hope you guys enjoyed this first video, and hopefully we'll be able to edit anything out of this that ends up being confusing or whatever. But yeah, thanks, and be looking for more videos.